Okay, so once upon a time, there's this thing called the Chinese Civil War. It was a pretty complicated ordeal, and basically, a lot of people die. Anyway, today we're going to be dealing with the causes of the Civil War, but be forewarned, they were very complicated, and what I'm about to present is simplified, so don't get mad at me. Okay, so it all starts with the fall of the last Chinese dynasty, what people called the Manchu dynasty. Essentially, well, things were going wrong. If you imagine the turn of the century China to be a tree, well, the dynasty would be the roots of this tree. And on top of the tree, well, let's just say there were some very rotten fruit. Things like, oh, I don't know, poverty, famine, harvest failures, and evil landlords. They all led to some very angry or, well, very dead people, which culminated in the Boxer Rebellion. Basically, during this Boxer Rebellion, people rebelled and complained about the backwards economy and foreign influence in China. One particular person by the name of Sun Yat-sen gets tired of it all and leaves the dynasty. He travels around the world and he comes back with these ideas about revolution and stuff. And basically he sets about cutting down the tree that is the dynasty. Now, essentially what he wants to engineer is the collapse of the Manchu dynasty. The Manchus, however, send this guy called General Yuan Shikai to stop him. And at first, the general's armies beat him. But then the general says, no, I don't want to help you anymore. And he betrays the Manchu dynasty, and they burn it down. He takes power. Then he dies. And then there's a power vacuum. And then everybody's like, oh man, that sucks. Now we're entering a period of warlordism, which basically means that lots of people die and there's a lack of food. Okay, so Sun Yat-sen, wanting to reunite the country, goes to the USSR for funds. They agree, but on the condition that the nationalists work with the Communist Party of China, or the CCP. He agrees, and this thing called the Northern Expedition is planned between the two parties. The point? To reunite the country. Then, of course, Sun Yat-sen dies. His brother-in-law, Chiang Kai-shek, takes his place, and then they get to Shanghai. And he pretty much tries to kill all the communists. There we have it. Essentially, this is the start of the Civil War where CCP and KMT are now set against each other, and China is, well, kind of set for a few more decades of war. Personally, I think that the power vacuum in China is really what leads to this conflict. CCP and KMT, well, like any party, they're both vying for control of the country. And this country, keep in mind, hasn't really seen a proper, powerful government since before the 1900s. And as with any power struggle, sometimes people hurt other people, which unfortunately is what happened here.